So if you're thinking about moving to the San Diego area, chances are you probably want to live as close to the beach as possible. And we have so many people contacting us weekly, wanting us to help them figure out which area they're going to be the happiest living in some of these coastal areas in San Diego. And today we're actually going to break down some of the best coastal areas in San Diego. We'll talk about some of the positives and negatives, the cost of living, and as a person that lives at the beach, we're going to talk about what the day-to-day lifestyle even looks like. Here we go. Hey, thanks for stopping by, or maybe this is your first time here and you like to know everything there is to know about living right here in San Diego. Make sure you give that subscribe button down below a nice little tap. My name is Nick, and you guys are reaching out all the time, and we absolutely love helping you out. So if you're thinking about making a move here in a week, a month, or even a year, just shoot us a text, shoot us an email, or just straight up give us a call so we can just help save you a lot of time and just help you make a smooth move right here to maybe one of these beach cities that we talk about on this list. Now, obviously, when people think about moving to San Diego, I think a lot of people just want to live near the beach and just have that beach life, right? There's a lot of great things that come with it. It's laid back, you've got plenty of options for walkability, some great things to do, beaches, all that fun stuff. But there is over 70 miles of coastline here in San Diego, so it can be extremely overwhelming trying to figure out, which area to actually call home and where you're going to be happiest. So don't get me wrong, you don't need to live at the beach here in San Diego. You could still be pretty far inland and only be about a 45 to an hour drive to some of these beaches here in San Diego. So even if you're looking in East County, you're not going to be very far from a beach day. But let's go ahead and hop into some of the best beach towns that we recommend. This list is in no particular order, but you will notice as we start to go through the list that a lot of these home prices start to get more and more expensive. Now, the first one that we're going to talk about is going to be Oceanside. Oceanside is going to be located in the tip top of North County, San Diego, and it's actually one of the last cities in San Diego before you head off into Orange County and the Los Angeles area. This is also going to be one of the biggest cities that we talk about on this list. You got about 175,000 people living there. So it's rather large, especially compared to a lot of these other towns that we're going to talk about. I mean, some of them only have 30,000, 60,000 people living in them. So this one is double, sometimes triple the size. Now, I will say the vibe here in Oceanside is completely different than anything else on the coastal towns. You just have a lot of character here for a few different reasons that we're going to talk about. But the first one I will say is Oceanside has not had the best rep, especially in the past 8 years. It has changed dramatically. And this is a place that people are always asking me questions on. They're just curious about it because the price is so darn good and it's a coastal town and it seems too good to be true, but it's really not. And the thing is, it just seems to be getting better and better. I've lived here for 4 years now, and every year it has just gotten better in my opinion. You have more restaurants coming in, you have multiple rooftop bars, you got beaches, you got pretty much everything you could want, and the affordability here is great. Now, some of the negatives are going to be a lot of these coastal towns have unsheltered population, homeless, so you're gonna see that, especially on the coast, but Oceanside probably has, the most unsheltered. I don't wanna say there's tents and stuff like that everywhere because you're really not gonna see that, but you are gonna see unsheltered, sometimes daily, especially in the coastal areas. Now, another negative is the beaches here. Anything really south of the pier, there's not much for beaches anymore. I know even for me and my girlfriend, when we're having a beach day, we go to Carlsbad just because there actually is sand. So that's going to be one of the negatives. But a couple pros here are going to be the amount of things to do. Like I mentioned, you just have a ton of stuff, especially walkability, great options. Also, when it comes to the affordability here, you're not going to find any better affordability in any coastal towns, probably in Southern California and most parts of California. You can find a single family home here for just about $750,000, going up well into the $2, $3, $4 million price range easily. Now, when it comes to condos, you can have plenty of options below $500,000. You probably won't be super close to the beach. It'll be a smaller condo, but you will have options. Next, we're going to head just south into Carlsbad. Now, Carlsbad is hands down going to be one of your best bangs for your buck when it comes to school. So if you have kiddos, or you're planning on having kiddos, or maybe the kids are all moved out, either way, put your business cap on, because this is going to be great for investment purposes, because Carlsbad School District is one of the best in the entire San Diego County, so you really can't go wrong, especially for the price in some of these other coastal towns. Now, I will say that Carlsbad Village has a really cool vibe down there. It's very walkable. You have a ton of restaurants, things to do. You're gonna have live music. You're gonna have all sorts of things to do. Now, I will also add that the beaches here in Carlsbad, you already heard me say this, that these are beaches we usually go to because there's plenty of beach, there's plenty of sand there, and they're not running out, so you can have some really good beach days there. You got some really pretty ones. You have Tamarack, you're gonna have Beach Avenue, the Point, just to name a few. And you also have a really cool boardwalk just right below, right outside the Carlsbad Village. That's actually a lot of fun to walk. You're always going to see people walking around or going on a run and doing things like that. Now, one of the cons is going to be, well, there's two cons that I want to bring up, and one of them is going to be that this place is a very big tourist attraction, and during those summer months from about May till the end of August, it gets extremely packed. It's large wait times to get food. You're going to have traffic, especially close to the beaches, and it's going to be ridiculously hard to find parking at the beaches. So just keep that stuff in mind. Maybe you're going to live close enough, you have an e-bike, you can drive over there, you're not going to have a problem. Now, another one is this place is getting very expensive really fast. Now, for a single family home here, you can expect to pay about 1.2 million and more. And even at that 1.2 million, you might want to have a renovation budget because a lot of these homes will probably be outdated. But some of the pros are going to be there is a ton of different cool neighborhood options depending if you want a newer home or maybe you want something more older and custom. You have some really great neighborhoods like La Costa. You're going to have Aviara. You just have a plethora of options, which is great. Also, a ton of condo options as well. If you don't have the budget for a single family home, you can easily find some great condo options starting at about 500,000 to 600,000. Again, they're not going to be huge. They're going to be smaller, and you can find some great townhomes too, just below that $1 million price point. Now, one thing I will say is we love helping you guys, but we really can't help you unless you guys reach out because we just want to figure out which area is going to be the best for you, just so you don't move to the wrong area, because just like Carlsbad and a lot of these other neighborhoods here in San Diego, we know them like the back of our hand, and we'd love to really help you. So reach out. Our info is down below. Next, we're going to talk about one of my favorites for a few different reasons, but this one's going to be number 3, and it's going to be Encinitas. Now, Encinitas has a different vibe than a lot of these other ones that I'm talking about in the sense that it is very laid back. It's such a surf vibe here, and there is so many different communities within Encinitas depending on what you're looking for. If you want something not close to your neighbors with some land, beautiful big custom homes, look in areas like Olivenhain. Maybe you want something extremely walkable. Well, Leucadia, downtown Encinitas, Cardiff by the Sea, these are going to be awesome little neighborhoods to look into where you really just have everything you need just right there. That's one of my favorite things about Encinitas is you have Target, you have some of those bigger chains that we all need like Target, Walmart, things like that, but you also have a ton of smaller locally owned small businesses as well. Not to mention the restaurants here are some of my favorite in all of San Diego County. You got fine dining, you got something casual, you got a little bit of everything here, which is awesome. Now, some of the pros are going to be another place. This is going to be another place with some really, really great schools. You're going to have some really awesome neighborhoods like some of the ones that I just mentioned. And the vibe here is very, very laid back. And you have some really world-class beaches. I don't want to call them world-class beaches, but you have some really, really beautiful beaches here. You got stone steps, you got beacons, you got pipes. You have a ton of great beaches here as well. Now, some of the cons are going to be it is very, very expensive here now. I know the median home value is right around $1.8 million now, and home prices, they go up, they go down, but you will not be able to find a single family home for less than really 1.2 million, 1.3 million. Then your options are going to start to open up a bit more. Now, again, you will have condo options below that $1 million, but just keep in mind that Encinitas is going to be a very, very expensive place. Next up is Del Mar. Now, I'm pretty sure we've all heard of Del Mar. It's famous for the Del Mar racetrack. You have the San Diego County Fair there. You also have the Del Mar Dog Beach. For all you dog lovers out there that have a pup at home, make sure you check this place out. It is hilarious to see these dogs pretty much go wild there and just have a blast going in the water and all that stuff. And keep in mind too, if you do have a dog, a lot of these beaches in San Diego County, you're not even allowed to really bring your dog at. So just, keep that in the back of your head. You can do a quick search and find out which areas you can actually bring your dog. Now, I will say Del Mar is going to be hands down the smallest town that we talk about on the coast, you have a population of right around 4,000 people living here. So it's a tiny place. So if you want a very secluded place, a little more private, this is going to be a great area for you. It is pretty jaw-dropping, some of these properties here, but they are very, very expensive. You can find condos, you know, starting, well, actually you can find a couple condos, really small ones, starting at about 700,000, but a lot of your great options are going to start at about 1.5 million. And then a single family home, don't even think about it unless you got about 2.5 or more. You have houses that go well up to 10 million here, and they are absolutely gorgeous, like I mentioned. So that's going to be one of the negatives about it. But besides that, if you have the checkbook for this place, you will certainly be happy. Last but not least is going to be La Jolla. How could I not bring up La Jolla? This is a place that everybody wants to be. It seems like everybody has visited there. It's definitely a hot spot here in San Diego. And the location, I don't think you can really beat it when it comes to a lot of these beach towns, because you're very centrally located right here. You can head up to a lot of these other towns that I talked about. You can go up to Oceanside in about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You can go down to downtown San Diego, the airport, in about 15, 20 minutes. So location-wise, accessibility-wise, you can't go wrong. You also have a ton of things to do. You have some high-end shopping. If you're into luxury shopping, you have the University Town Center, which is a really nice outdoor mall. You're also going to have some of the prettiest beaches are hands down definitely going to be in La Jolla. You have one of my favorites, which is going to be Black's Beach. Just a heads up, this is a nude beach, although not everybody there is nude, but it's one of the prettiest beaches. I mean, the views down there are awesome. Now, the prices here, it's going to be one of the most expensive spots. As I said, we're going to kind of trickle down to the most expensive, and La Jolla is going to be one, and you're not going to find any detached homes until about $2 million, going up well to $10, $15 million. And then also condos, you can get away with finding condos, you know, for about $600,000, $700,000. They're not going to be too big, but you will have that option here in La Jolla. Now, hopefully that was very helpful to you guys, and you have a better idea of some of these coastal towns, the vibe, the prices, some of the negatives and positives. But we love helping you guys, and we really can't help you unless you reach out. So if you guys have questions on any of these areas, or you're just kind of clueless trying to figure out where you want to be, it really just takes one conversation with us just to figure out what you like, what you don't like, and just help figure out which area is going to be the best for you. So either way, guys, reach out. Our info is down below, and make sure you check out a couple of these videos right here, because I think these might help you out a little bit as well. Thanks.